Friends, today again we are here to discuss is can't said be new. It's the age-old story. Whenever we are in the business or our forefathers were doing the shops, everything they do for profit. What is profit? If you reduce the cost, the remaining money becomes the profit. But what is our cost? So how to calculate the cost? Friends, generally it is seen that while cost calculative, we only calculate we say if I go only the printing side, we only see the paper cost, the labor cost. Some people add LXC to it. No, not all. Some clever people also include the breakage of machinery and all this. But there are many things more. Many things more. While studying at Allahabad, our principal L.R. Nagpal taught us costing estimating, and definitely there was a poem in the book. I think Mandira was 1 year senior to me, so I didn't remember the full poem, but the virtual meaning was there's a printer named John. His volume was more, but the production is less. P.S. Tomorrow they will auction his press. The basic formula is only this: if you are selling below the cost, nobody can save you in the world. The day will come, then you have to close. But again, I added one more line to it. If you will not produce at economical rates, even then you have to close. So somebody other will produce. So these are the two aspects. We have to produce the quality at economical rates so that we may be able to cope with the competition, not competition of your area, your city, your state, or of your country. Nowadays, we are facing the competition globally. There is a global competition. But today's subject is very crucial. How to calculate the cost? Calculating cost is a very scientific thing. Yesterday, I was talking with Uday, and they tell that it is a science. Calculation is a science. So definitely it's a science. And friends, today we have with us eminent personalities. We have the person who has written books on costing estimating. We have a person who is best known as in our printing circle, who is known the best finance manager or best finance guide. We have with us the person who can guide us lean manufacturing also. Maybe today's subject is different. So I will not go more on it because it's a crucial time and I don't want to waste your time in my talks. So I would like to invite Dr. Bral to introduce the speakers and to start today's webinar. Dr. Bral, please.
Good morning, Kamalji, and a very good morning to all the panelists and the dear participants. Today we have a very crucial topic, know your production cost. Micro, small and medium enterprises have been considered as the growth engines of developing countries like India due to their contributions in terms of technological innovations, employment generation, export promotion, and also to rural industrialization. This sector is ideally suited to build on the strength of our traditional skills and knowledge by infusion of technologies, capital, and innovative marketing practices. Printing industry, which is basically dominated by this MSME sector after the lockdown, is going to feel the heat also. Things are going to be certainly different from now onwards. Pressure will be certainly there to optimize the cost of production so as to maximize profits. There are so many areas which were probably not so important before needs utmost care and attention in the present moment because survival of a fittest will be the tagline in coming times also. Critical analysis of these intricate points proves to be the silver lining under the dark and black cloud. And so the title of the seminar is highly important to each one of us to grow and move forward with prosperity. Uh, Moving forward, today our very first speaker, Sri Uday Dhote, a graduate from Podar College, Mumbai, and a chartered accountant. He is the go-to person in the industry for all matters related to finance and taxation. He is currently holding the charge of Chairman Education and Training AIFMP, Chairman Finance and Taxation MMS, and Editor Print Bulletin. He is a director of Dhote Offset Technocrafts, Goregaon, Mumbai. He has been instrumental in DOT's growth as a system-driven company. A third generation in the family, he has an experience of more than three decades in this industry. A teacher at heart, his passion for education has motivated him to start DOT Institute of Graphic Communication in 2018. The idea is to sharpen the skills of print graduate students and make them industry ready. This institute successfully runs PG diploma in printing management for the students opting to go in family owned print business. So far, it has had students from Jammu, Indore, Surat, Hyderabad, Pune, Nagpur, and Mumbai. So I would like to request Sri Uday Dhote to share his insight. Over to Udayji.
Thank you, Baralji. Thank you, Kamalji. And good morning to all panelists and good morning to all participants. I would like to share the screen, Dr. Baral.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the session on understanding cost of production in printing. I'm Uday Dhote. So let's begin. In this session, let us try to understand the following: costing vis-a-vis estimating, types of costs in printing business, estimation techniques, understanding cost centers, allocation of costs, and fixation of departmental or activity related costs, either hourly or otherwise. Proceeding further, as you know, there is no fixed menu for a press. It's impossible. Every printed job is customized. Brochure, calendar, diary, carton, magazine, poster, whatever. Choice of process is different. Screen, offset, digital, flexography, gravure. Substrate is also different. Map litho, gloss coated, matte coated, you name what. And the purchase prices are different. Post-press operations are different. Skills involved are different. In fact, every aspect is different. Let's go further. Now let's understand the difference between costing and estimating. Costing, kharcha as it is called, is the purchase price we pay for a product or service. We have to incur cost in order to understand costing. Hence, costing is the study of the past. Estimate, that is andaz, is an approximate judgment of the cost of a product or service. While making an estimate, we try to predict costs. Hence, estimating is the study of future. Now, what does this mean? When the client asks us for a quote for a prospective job, he's asking us for an estimate. And how do we do it? Based on the past experience, we predict the costs which are involved in that prospective job and hence arrive at an estimate. So when we quote to the client, we are giving an estimate. Please understand this difference. Normally these two terms are used concurrently. I mean, we need to understand difference at this stage. Let's go further. What are the type of costs involved? There are three types of costs. One is the direct materials, one is the direct expenses, and the third one is indirect expenses. Direct materials, the materials and consumables required in the process of production. Whatever is required in the process of production, like paper, plates, inks, press room chemicals, lamination or shrink packing film, adhesives, blankets, packaging materials, toner cartridges, etc. Whatever materials are required for production are come under direct materials. Next, direct expenses. expenses directly related to the production processes. For example, if it is a pre-press operation, the outsourced artwork design, copywriting, scanning, processing, proofing, or printouts, whatever, all these expenses are direct expenses. Expenses related to the press, outsourced printing activities like offset screen printing if it is outsourced, and outsource post-press operations like binding, folding, die cutting, envelope making, gumming, lamination, embossing, whatever it may be. Well, the important ones in post-press are the wages of workers, the power bill for the production facilities, the repairs and maintenance of the machines, and the likes. All these come under direct expenses since they are directly related to the production processes. Now we have expenses which are not related to the production processes. For example, office and admin, rent, conveyance, telephone, office electricity, printing and stationery, maintenance of office equipments, office maintenance, professional legal charges, all these come under office and admin. Capital and finance related interest, bank charges, insurance, depreciation, so on and so forth. Sales and distribution like traveling, courier, rebates and discounts, sales, promotion, transport, publicity, etc. And personal nature of expenses like salaries to the staff, remuneration of partners or directors, and staff welfare, etc. All these expenses being not related to the production are called as indirect expenses. Let's move further. And now how do we recover the costs? Now there is a caution in recovery of costs. Costs of direct materials and outsourced activities is easy to recover since they are identifiable. But direct expenses like wages, repairs to machinery, the power bill, and all those indirect expenses which we saw in the last slide cannot be identifiable with a particular job, and so they are not easily recoverable. Hence, many of us may be failing to recover all the costs spent on a particular job. At such times, it is imperative to devise a system for the allocation, apportionment, and absorption of the costs which cannot be related to particular products. Next, estimation. We go to estimation. What I would suggest is you use a fixed format for making your estimates. This would keep the standards and they would not vary much. It is something like you can use Excel for that. I've just given you an example of how you can make a format or template in Excel. You could go form wise, so form wise you would have system charges, plates, paper, printing, all that one form number 2, and so on and so forth, and other activities like binding, lamination, pinning, envelope making, etc. at the bottom, and on the subtotal you may add your margins and or the commission involved and arrive at the total figure. You can divide that by the quantity. If all this is done in Excel, primarily it would do all the calculations, and calculations would not go in for a toss, and B, you will have a record of this for future, and C is that always there will be a standard format for the same. Moving ahead, let us take an example of a press which has only printing machines and other activities are outsourced. Here the costs of designing plates, paper, lamination, binding, etc. are recovered properly since we know the costs. So whenever we give a job to an outside partner, we know what he is going to charge us. For the plates, we know the per square meter rate of the plates. Or designing, lamination, whenever this is given to an outside agency, we know their costs. Yeah, but for printing process, now traditionally, conventionally, we are recovering the rate per thousand impressions. Everybody must be very familiar with this, where impressions is equal to forms into quantity into sides into colors. Now, does anybody know the derivation of this formula? How this rate has come, how this rate of per thousand impressions has come into being. But we've been following for donkey's number of years, and many of the presses have grown with this formula. So there must be some logic, some genesis to this formula, which we will try to see a little ahead. Now, this means that the printing rate which we are going to recover is supposed to cover all the costs of, say, wages, repairs, insurance, depreciation, power, etc., etc., etc. Whatever that long list of expenses we have seen, it is supposed to cover all of that. Therefore, I say it is necessary to have a scientific approach to charge the printing rate, which would absorb all these costs properly. Let's go ahead. When scientific approach is not possible for some reason, a person, the proprietor, the owner of the company is not able to get a professional hand to do this, then I would suggest that charging a fixed rate for make ready and a variable rate per 1,000 impressions may be a better method. In this, what you could do is, in a typical 4-color job, you could charge for a plate change of 4. Say for example, you're charging 250 rupees per plate, so you could charge 250 into 4, 1,000 rupees fixed cost, and then per 1,000 impressions, as you would like to charge, say 100 rupees per 1,000 impression, so on and so forth. So what would happen is, as the quantity increases from 1,000 to 2,000, that rate would come down a little bit. When it increases from 2,000 to 3,000, it would decrease a little bit. This is because the fixed costs would be spread over more number of impressions, and that is the logic behind it. The genesis over here is that the fixed make ready rate would absorb the costs of fixed nature like rent, depreciation, insurance, interest, etc., and the variable rate would absorb the costs of variable nature like wages, power, inks and chemicals, etc. Going ahead. Now, scientific approach needs a professional. Finding cost centers and allocation, absorption, apportionment of costs requires professional skills, and data of the past few months or past few years or a period will have to be studied with respect to average output per machine, unit, process and average working hours. Now, what is common in all the production processes? There's only one thing which is common, and that is time. Therefore, effort must be made to fix hourly rates per department, machine or process. Now, we should judge by our experience. We will definitely be able to judge the time to be taken on each process, unit or machine for a particular job and apply the predetermined hourly rates to it. So, after that, you could, once the hourly rate is fixed, then you could apply, add the cost of direct materials and outsourced activities to it. Once you get the total of this, you could add your gross profit percentage and your estimate is ready. Just to show you in the form of an example, this is a typical profit and loss account on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I've given the percentages of the figures of the profit and loss account. So if your sales is 100, your materials, direct materials and direct expenses are 73.40, you have a gross profit of 26.60. Now, at the bottom, after the gross profit, you have the indirect expenses. Now, indirect expenses are more or less fixed in nature and they remain the same throughout the period. So you could predict these indirect costs and plan what kind of gross profit you need in order to attain a certain level of net profit. So here this company has decided to attain say a net profit of 7 to 8%, for which it requires a gross profit of 26.6 on a sale of 100. Now 26.6 on a sale of 100, this is on the sales price, but when we are doing the estimate, we are knowing the costs and we are trying to predict the sales price. So what we will have to do over here is 26.60 he is getting on the cost of 73.40, which is 36.25% of the direct cost. So when you have worked out such an estimate, as we saw previously, we worked out the estimate, and on that subtotal we will have to add a gross profit margin of 36.25% in this particular case, so that it will be getting on an average a net profit of 7 to 8%. Now this would vary from organization to organization. As you know that the fixed costs, which are also called as the overheads or indirect costs, these will be definitely different from organization to organization, and depending upon the company policy, it will strictly depend on the directors or promoters to work out for a figure of the net profit, on the basis of which they will have to work backwards and see what gross profit is required. So this way you get your estimate. We move ahead. We move to cost centers now. A typical profit and loss account gives you the regular account heads and the bottom line, that is the profit, but it does not show you who has contributed for it and who are responsible to bring it down. This can be done by a system of cost centers and revenue centers, and this is available in Tally ERP and works in the shadow of a regular financial statements. So when you are debiting a certain expense or providing for it in Tally, it will prompt you to put the cost centers. And similarly, when you are entering the sales voucher, Tally will prompt you to put the revenue centers. Now, considering a press having the following departments: creative, plates, offset, digital, finishing and dispatch. These are also the revenue earning departments. And there are certain departments which are working in the back end. Those are accounts, admin, management, which do not earn revenue. Now the abbreviations are written in the capital letters just to give it just for you to understand. When we go ahead, they have been depicted in the form of this abbreviated letters, so just keep in mind. Now creative, CTP, offset, digital, finishing and dispatch, accounts, admin and management will be the main groups for review purpose, but you can open as many as cost centers you want under these groups. It works in a structured layer as a Tally. In Tally also the group of accounts and subgroups you can create level after level. Similarly, in cost centers also you can create level after level. Let's go ahead. Now, while doing in Tally, you will have to first associate the cost centers with each account head and then relate it to the particular group department that it belongs to. And why first the account head? Because account heads are more easy for recalling. We have always been used to traditional accounting, and the account heads which appear in the profit and loss account on the expense side, we are very familiar with those account heads. So if you start your the nomenclature of your cost center with the account head first, it would make sense. Let's see that in the table below. So where our accounting head is materials, and the likely cost centers would be material inks, material chemicals, material paper offset, material paper digital, material plates, and these cost centers are related to the departments which are given on the right hand side, which is for example material paper offset. Now when we are making an estimate, we are also going to charge for the paper used. So paper has a cost and paper has a revenue as well. Similarly in the paper which is used for digital, and similarly the plates which have been purchased. So plates also have a cost to attach to it, and when we are recovering the cost in our estimate, we are also charging for the plates. Similarly, the next account head, power. Now power also can be for offset, digital, CTP, finishing and dispatch, etc., and so on and so forth for repairs and maintenance, and wages. In wages, you can also have, under wages offset, you could also have machine wise wages. So for example, I'm having two machines, RIB and SORDZ. I could have RIB and SORDZ as one more level under wages offset, and under that I can again have a cost center as per the names of the people working on those machines. Yeah, so this is what happens when I tell you layer by layer you can keep creating more and more fields. Going ahead, so this is the way cost centers are done. Let's move ahead. Now, apportionment of costs. There may be times when an expense may not be identifiable to a particular activity or department. For example, in case of electricity or rent. In such cases, you may have to absorb them on the basis of some criteria like area. So in case of rent, it would be area. In case of expenses like staff welfare, tea, coffee expenses, etc., it will be on the number of people. For expenses like internet or telecom charges, it may be on the basis of usage, etc. One can make a standard ratio for these and put them in an Excel template like below. For example, electricity or power. Now these weights have been given. You see 1, 5, 2, 1, 10, 10, 45, 13. These are the weights given for that. And as soon as you receive the bill, or when you're debiting the expense of electricity in your account, say for example 3 lakhs, you put that 3 lakhs on the right hand side and it will get apportioned. The amounts appearing in the yellow are the apportioned amounts. Now according to these apportioned amounts, you will put these entries in the cost centers when you're making the voucher entry. Yeah, so one would be your accounting entry of 3 lakh rupees under par, and one would be your cost center entry of the apportioned amounts, yeah, as cost centers. This is the way you have to apportion. Let's move ahead. Now, fixation of costs department wise or activity wise. This is the last thing which we are doing. How to fix the cost department wise or activity wise. The most important department at the heart of that our organization, our press, is mainly offset. Now that is why I've taken the example of offset department. Now say I said we have 2 machines, you know, I talked about an example where we are having 2 machines. So say for example Ryobi and SORDZ, and to support that we also have a cutting machine. Yeah, so all the expenses related to these machines are put on this, and from these cost centers, either from these cost centers you derive at the apportionment between these 2 machines, or else you, if not, then if for example if blankets you don't have an apportionment, then you could go by the number of sheets going through the machine. Normally this data, production data, I would advise every press to keep simple data. You keep a simple logbook, you know, a simple logbook in a notebook where it would have the job name, and where it would have the job name and the number of impressions and the number of sheets running through the machine, and this it can be tabulated and a summary can be made month-wise and kept. This would be very helpful, and this data would help when we are bifurcating such expenses. And likewise all other expenses relating to that department, if you have a cost-centric system, you would get this from Tally itself. Otherwise some effort will have to be made by you to put it in this form. After that, after we get a total of these expenses, now the expenses related to cutting machine can also be bifurcated into these 2 machines depending on the number of sheets or number of impressions going on that machine. So finally we have these 2 figures at the bottom, the total figures. Now you may be having the records also of number of hours worked during that month. As per that, if supposing this is a 6-month data, and during these 6 months total hours worked we get, so now just divide the cost by the total number of hours worked, and you will get the cost of that particular machine per hour. For a rare example, we are getting it as 800 in case of RIB per hour, and 475 in case of SORDZ. Yeah, and if you divide these costs by the number of impression for these 6 months, you would get the rate per 1000 impressions. So this is what, you know, here we've tried to derive the genesis of how this per 1000 impression cost has been arrived at. So likewise you could work with all other departments. You should have something like the cost center. If you have this system of cost centers, you can get these figures from Tally itself. And once this is done, it will be very easy. It's not that you have to apportion on the basis of hourly basis, but you can have some other measure also. For example, in a plate making department, these costs could be apportioned on the basis of square meter, because there the input which is going is a plate which is square meter, which has dimensions, and the output is also a plate. So whatever costs are involved in that department could be apportioned on the basis of square meter. This you will have to do for all the departments. That's all I have to say this time. Thank you. You can note my email ID if you have any queries further. This has been done in very short because we have a lot of speakers over here, and you'll be having some interesting thoughts coming from them also to add to this. Yeah, if you want to know anything further, we also run one educational vertical called Dot Institute of Graphic Communication. There we go into the depth of all these subtopics which I have talked about earlier. Thank you so much, and I'm open to any question and answers at the end of the session.
Thank you, Udayji, for giving insight like distinction between costing and estimation, scientific approach, direct and indirect cost, then cost centers. Moving forward, our next speaker. speaker, Sri B.D. Mehndi Rattaji, ex-principal, Delhi Government Polytechnics and HOD, Printing Technology, Pusa Institute of Technology, Delhi. He is a gold medalist from NRIPT and B in printing from Germany. He has over 40 years of teaching and research experience in this field. Prior to the teaching assignment, he was worked in Thomson Press, NID, ITDC, and Bureau of Indian Standards. He had written numerous research articles and books on printing technology. He is associated with many printing universities and guiding them in many respects. Sir has written a book in costing estimating also. So now I would like to request our very own Professor B.D. Mehndi Rattaji to share his insight. Over to sir.
Good morning, friends. I am B.D. Mehndi. As Mr. Dhote has already pointed out, that it is very important and essential for every manufacturer to know the cost of products which he is manufacturing. He may be manufacturing machine tools, toys, auto parts, books, and magazines. Actually, the estimation of this cost enables him to decide the price at which he should sell his products to recover all his expenses and earn a reasonable profit. Actually, cost is the sum total of all the liabilities and expenses actually incurred in producing a job or rendering a service. The method of finding out the cost of a product is called costing. Actually, costing or calculation of cost is always done after the completion of the job. It helps us to compare the actual cost with the estimated cost. It provides data for estimating. It helps us in cost reduction and cost control. Actually, costing is the backbone of every manufacturing organization. The success, continuous, and growth of an organization depends on the strength of its costing department. Finding out the actual cost of production is a very complex process, especially in a printing press, where the items of expenditures are very large in number. That is why they have to close down one day or the other, because they undergo huge losses. Only big printers have their own full-fledged costing and estimating department. They know their exact cost of production, so they can even negotiate with the customer while getting the job. They know they might be earlier charging 30% profit, but they can reduce up to 20% or even less than that in case of competition. Since actually finding out the cost of production is a very complex process, British Printing Industries Federation has suggested certain principles, scientific principles of costing. They have even suggested a pro forma called cost sheet to make the process of cost finding easy and foolproof. These have been modified by Indian printers from time to time to suit their conditions and requirements. Now we know that cost varies from person to person, organization to organization, and from time to time. How it varies from one person to the other person? I give a very simple example. If I go to market and purchase a book, there I pay the price to the bookseller and then incur my expenses for purchasing this book. I may go on a scooter or I may go on a bus for purchasing the book. Whereas the other person, he may go on his own car, he may get some discount and all that. So his cost will be different and my cost will be different. Similar is the in the presses. It varies from one press to the other press because of the infrastructure, because of the location of the press, because of the equipment they are having, what is the age of the equipment, what is the salaries which are being paid to the workers, all that things. And then from time to time, even for the same product, cost cannot be the same at all the times in the same organization because the expenses vary and they change from time to time. Now, I would like to discuss the main constituents of cost. What actually constitutes the cost? As already Mr. Dhote has also said that there are three major components. One is a labor, material and outward, and the third one, expenses are overheads. Now, labor, what is labor? Labor is actually the remuneration which is paid to the workers directly engaged in the production process. Whereas materials are the raw goods which are consumed in the production process, and outwork is a work which is got done from the outside agencies for which the facilities are not available in one's own press. Then there are certain expenses and overheads which are essential to run the business smoothly and comfortably. Now again, coming to the labor, there are items of direct departmental labor which is directly charged in the bill of the customer. We indicate the items just like designing, typesetting, plate making, printing, binding. These are indicated directly in the bill of the customer. But there are other labor also, direct departmental labor, which is indirectly chargeable. It has to be charged and it increases the cost of the particular productive department. For example, the salaries paid to the proofreader, layout artist, inkers, gatherers, they are to be added to the particular concerned department. For example, proofreading will be done in the typesetting, layout artist in the plate making, inkers in the printing, and gatherer in the binding. Now there are indirect departmental labors also which are being used, that is a mechanic, electrician, carpenter, plumber. They are also doing their work in the different departments. Nowadays, because of Corona, we have to spend a lot of money on the sensitizing staff. We have to depute a special staff for desensitizing the various departments. And this Corona will also increase the cost of production of every department. Now, as far as the direct departmental cost is concerned, that is actually charged through hourly rate, whereas direct departmental labor, indirectly chargeable, that is allocated to the different jobs done in the particular department. And whereas indirect departmental labor is collectively charged on all the departments. Now coming to the material and outwork, that is direct departmental material and outwork directly chargeable. That is actually the paper. Paper actually constitutes 60 to 75% of the cost of production. And printer is not manufacturing the paper. He is buying the paper on behalf of the customer from the market. So we'll be charging the same in the bill of the customer as it is, plus certain percentage added to it as storage, cartage, and handling charges. There are other direct departmental materials and outwork which are indirectly chargeable. That is the chemicals, inks, dryers, glue, fevicol, stitching wire, sewing thread, etc. So they all will be added in the concerned departments, like chemicals will go in the plate making department, ink will go in the printing department, dryers will go in the printing department, glue, fevicol will go in the binding department, stitching wire and thread in the stitching department. This money will be allocated to all the jobs which are done in the binding department. Then there are indirect departmental material and outwork like dhotis, phenyl, kerosene oil, choline, and nowadays the sensitizers, because every department will have to be sensitized to get rid of the big problem. Now there are expenses and overhead. Direct departmental expenses directly chargeable, that is charged as it is in the bill of the customer, that is GST, packing and forwarding charges, freight, etc. Because this will vary from job to job and it will be charged as it is. Then we have direct departmental expenses indirectly chargeable. That is the depreciation, mainly the depreciation of all the machines and equipment. So that depreciation will be added in a particular department and it will increase the departmental cost, which will also then increase the hourly rate of the particular operation. For example, depreciation of computers will be charged in the typesetting department. It may also be charged in the office, and the scanners also in the plate making and processing department, printing machines in the printing department, binding machines in the binding department. So they all depreciation has to be allocated to the different jobs which have been done on these machines. Now we have the indirect departmental expenses. That is the salary of the managers, office staff, fax and telephone, staff car, hospitality charges, and nowadays the corona overheads. The hospitality charges are very important, which we forget. Even if a cup of tea is served to a customer, it has to be charged from the customer. Do this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving a detailed insight into the constituents of cost, direct and indirect cost, and how to calculate cost in the present time. Moving forward, our next speaker, Brundaban Behra. He holds a degree in arts, diploma engineering in printing technology from RIPT Jadavpur. He owns the largest and biggest printing press of state Odisha. He is credited with installing brand new Heidelberg press, CTP, and other finishing equipments. Currently, he is the managing director of the Print Tech, which was established by him in the year 1996. He is also holding the charge of Vice President of All Odisha Master Printers Association. Now, I would like to request Sri Brundaban Behra to share his insights. Over to Brundaban.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Kamalji, and thank you, Dr. Baralji, for giving me a chance to be a part of this webinar and to share my view on this webinar. Let us come to the point of discussion. Today's discussion, I want to share something from my own experience regarding the effectiveness of the cost in the printing press. There are so many factors which involve in the cost, as Udayji and Dr. Mendirata sir told, they have explained very elaborately all things they have covered. But I want to share some other chapters in the respect of the cost. So many cost involvement aspects I want to discuss. There are some, I choose 4 types of involvement in the costing process. They are the they are the investment in plant and machineries, raw materials, working staff, and utilization of machine capacity. Investment in plant and machineries. In global market, there are so many machines available. Machine manufacturers are so many available. Besides that, some refurbished machineries are also available. In brand new machines, we can get high quality printing with consistency, less make ready time, less wastage, and less wear and tear, which helps us to produce high quality with low cost of production. On the other hand, in case of refurbished machineries, most of the time the machine is breakdown, more make ready time, more consumption of ink, etc., which increases the cost of production. We have to move with the automation and updated technology to get a cost effective in the process of during the selection of the printing machineries. Overall, we all, whether new machines or old machine, we have to take preventive maintenance care, which is also a very cost effective matter, and in the end it may happens and add to the costing. The second point is raw materials. Although the rate of raw materials is standardized throughout the country, there are different quality of materials are available in the market. Cheaper quality of raw material increases the cost of production by damaging other parts of the machine. Good quality ink increases the print run length and protect the blanket and rollers from damage, increasing indirectly reduce the cost of production. So high quality raw materials like CTP plates, inks and chemicals to be used to get a effective production. Working staff. If we have high-end, good quality printing machine and the operating staff are not dedicated and efficient, then our cost of production increases. We have to arrange proper training to our staff from time to time. We have to motivate them to achieve good quality with effective cost. Then the last point is utilization of machine capacity. We have the practice to run our press in single or double shift with some provision of overtime. Very few of us are running their machine in 3 shifts. In 3 shifts basis, we can achieve smooth production and 100% utilization of the machine can be done. Here the cost of production is reduced, provided we should have sufficient workload to run the machine in 3 shifts. Otherwise, it will be an extra burden to the organization. Lastly, I would like to say that we should follow the standard procedure during the calculation of the cost of production. We should not go beyond our rate. We have to keep patience to get the job in profitable price. We are very good in quality. If we are very good in quality and commitment, definitely the customer will come to us. Nowadays, people are very much quality conscious and looking for branded items. Only thing is that we should not lose our patience. In no case, we should share our profit to the customer. With this, I conclude my thoughts Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Baral. Thank you, Kamal sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, Vrindavan, for sharing your own insight over the years what you have gained. Moving forward, our next speaker, Anirudh Khandekar, popularly known as Ani, is a senior business transformation professional and currently is designated as Vice President Business Transformation CMS IT Services Private Limited. Prior to this assignment, he was associated with Repro India as Senior Business Manager, Digital Business for a period of more than 2 years. He was associated with Omnova Solutions as Senior Lean Sigma Black Belt Manager for more than 10 years. He is the recipient of many honors and awards for his outstanding contribution over the years. He holds a bachelor's degree in engineering from Pune, Master of Science in Applied Science from USA, and Lean Sigma Black Belt from USA. Now, I would like to request Sri Anirudh Khandekar to share his insights. Over to Ani.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon to all the esteemed panelists, and a big round of thanks to Professor Baral as well as Kamalji for hosting this webinar. You know, not just this webinar, I think OPA has been doing a wonderful job over the last several weeks in hosting extremely critical subjects that are pertinent to the industry and the SMEs right now. Let me share my screen. I've got a quick slideshow for everybody. No doubt that today's subject is, one of the most talked about, thought about business or any sector. Clearly, cost, how to contain it, how to reduce it, how to optimize it is at the back of the mind of each businessman. And especially right now, where because of the last few weeks, everybody's trying to regain lost ground when it comes to starting and cranking up their engines once lockdown is over. But before you try to optimize cost, I think it's very critical for you to understand that the panelists that have spoken before me have shed a lot of light on what are the different aspects of cost, what are the different categories of cost. I'll give a little bit of insight on that, but I'll perhaps spend some more time on how to reduce that cost, because understanding it is one half of it, but then clearly every businessman wants to tackle the main aspect of reduction. So if I take a look at for some reason, I'm assuming you guys can see my screen.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I just had a small issue. So see, costs are divided into so many different categories, and you hear all these terminologies. I'm not going to add any more science to it, but there's direct cost, indirect cost, fixed and variable, product and period. Sometimes it is called as controllable, uncontrollable. Ultimately, every businessman wants to understand where should I focus and how should I focus on this. So I have my own template. So Udayji and the previous panelists, just pardon me if I'm trying to present this in a slightly different manner, but I'm presenting it purely as a non-accountant. I'm presenting it more from a process standpoint rather than a costing expert standpoint. I simplify this entire definition of cost into 4 main buckets, and I'll explain some of these. On the top half of the screen, you'll see direct cost, and on the bottom, you'll see indirect cost. Furthermore, you have 2 more aspects to it, fixed and variable. So there's direct and fixed cost, there's direct and variable cost. Similarly, there's indirect and fixed cost, and indirect and variable cost. And if you understand these 4 categories distinctly, I think you'll be able to pinpoint which particular area you want to focus on first from your business perspective. So if I take a look at my direct and indirect costs, what is the definition of direct cost? Direct cost is that which is related and traceable to your product, or in case of non-product companies, to your service that you offer to your customer. And indirect cost cannot be directly related or directly traced to a unit of the product or the service that you offer. I'll explain this. What is direct and fixed? In case of fixed direct costs, it does not change in proportion to the output. For example, if you produce 1,000 impressions or you produce 10,000 impressions and you have a supervisor appointed for your production process, the salary of the supervisor is not going to change depending on the number of impressions that you've produced in that shift. Hence, it is called as a direct cost because it is traceable and related to the product or the service you're offering. And it is fixed because it does not change in proportion to the volume of the output. Direct plus variable cost is that which changes with proportion to the output and is also related to the product. Example, in this case, it is purely material cost. So your paper, inks, fountain solutions, these are all costs which are related to the manufacturing of the product. And they also change based on the number of impressions or the number of units that you manufacture in your process. Indirect and fixed costs. Now, again, like I said, indirect is some cost in the business which is not related or traceable to the product, but yet you incur that cost. And this cost does not, again, change depending on the output. Example, rent of the building. Because it is fixed in nature, you can't trace it to a certain unit of the product. It is apportioned overall to the entire business. And that's why it is indirect in nature. Similarly, indirect plus variable cost, again, cost which is not related or traceable to a single unit of measure of your product or service, but it changes in the proportion based on output. So if you're a 1-shift operation, 2-shift operation, 3-shift operation, obviously your utility cost will keep on varying based on the proportion of the output. So it's very important to just spread your costs across these 4 buckets. And if you're able to do that, then you are on the first step towards trying to address which category you want to tackle first. Every business, every company will have a slightly different vantage point on where they want to focus at first. There's no template. Okay, you tackle this category first or that category first. But by and large, based on the population of attendees that we have here today, most of you are printers, and hence my advice would be that you start taking a look at your direct variable cost first. That is the first area where you should focus on. So like I said, again, direct variable will be purely your material costs. This is where you will probably get the biggest and the quickest bang for the buck. The other categories will take a little bit of time to optimize and mature. Now, the important aspect. So how do we do this? You know, everybody's talking about cost and categories, but what exactly are you talking about, Ani, is the question that everybody will ask. So when I take a look at the material cost, and this is a subject which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, you know, how do you really reduce your material cost? I will sound like a broken record. I'll keep spinning that same tape over and over again. But in my 20 years of career, this is probably the correct template of how you tackle your direct and variable costs in any business. When you're taking a look at your material costs, purely you have to take a look at your different buckets of waste in the process. And in lean terms, there are 8 different categories of wastes. You know, typically, whenever anyone says waste, they just think of scrap at the end of a printing process. No, that's not the only waste you incur. There are 8 different categories, primarily around defects, overproduction, waiting time, unutilized talent. There's excess inventory, both finished goods and raw material, transportation costs, motion costs, and extra processing. So your direct variable costs are tackled through lean. The other aspect of tackling direct and variable cost is also by reducing your variation. You know, how many printers can very honestly say that their consistency of product from shift to shift or day to day or operator to operator does not vary? I think the answer to that question will be quite, you know, there will be a very small percentage of population which can thump the desk and say, I produce the same exact quality with the same amount of scrap every time I run the same job. Or I run the same amount of scrap with the same amount of quality or the same measure of quality, even if my job runs across different shifts. If you can say that, that means your consistency in the process is quite high. So if you target your wastes across these 8 buckets, if you target consistency of product quality and producing it right the first time, then you will be able to impact your material cost, which is direct plus variable, as well as your labor cost, which is direct plus fixed. I see a lot of processes, especially in India, where we spend a tremendous amount of labor, and I categorize that as non-utilized talent. I see so many companies spending tons of money on supervision of a process. To my mind, supervising a process is really not optimal utilization of your talent. Why should you have to supervise something that shows a lack of trust, that shows a lack of consistency, that clearly demonstrates that you have to have a check engine in place just to make sure everything is running smoothly. So to my mind, these are some hidden costs in your processes, which end up reducing your profitability. So again, I'll just repeat this slide. Reduce your variation and reduce your 8 lean wastes. You will make a tremendous impact in reducing your direct and variable, as well as your direct and fixed cost. Tackle this area first, because most of you are, I'm sure, printing organizations that deal with these kind of nemesis on a daily basis. Indirect cost reduction is also a template which some companies follow. If you have already optimized your business processes internally, your production processes internally, then you can focus on indirect cost reduction. I think this area requires a lot more deep dive, because the examples of your indirect costs are gigantic in nature: rent, security, utilities, legal and accounting, or your entire quality control measures that you've put in place. Maybe you have a special MI system to monitor your data. These things are not going to change overnight unless you tackle your production process. And typically, indirect costs are targeted with a significant change in your business model. So in the context of a printer, if you are moving from, let's say, I would imagine some of you currently have your orders coming in form of an email or a call by the customer to your sales desk, or maybe somebody in person who brings in an order, example, your Salesforce, and you're trying to create an online ordering model. We did this in a company that I worked for previously, and we created digital storefront. So customer would just go online and pick and choose whatever product he wants with the specs he wants, time, and so on and so forth. And this all backflows into your MIS. So if you're trying to target a complete transformation of your business model, then you can easily tackle indirect costs. Or in the last few months, I'm sure a lot of the printers are starting to see a migration towards ebooks. That's a significant change of your business model. A lot of, not printing industry, but in some of the other retail industry, I've read a lot of the businesses are now starting to promote online showrooms and do away with brick and mortar style retail models. So if you're undergoing a significant transformation, then your indirect costs can be majorly and drastically reduced in that proportion. Now, keep in mind, friends, post-COVID, your costs are going to increase. There's no doubt about it. And don't shy away from it. Face it head on. If you are a typical production environment, you will see a surge in your indirect costs, primarily around maybe a sanitization of your facility that has to happen every week or every 2 weeks or monthly, depending on the guidelines within your area of production. There will be masks and PPE that you have to provide to your workforce. Maybe you have to undergo some social distancing norms within your factory and office environment. So there will be a rise in your indirect cost. And there is no, there's no formula for calculating this particular rise post-COVID. It will vary from company to company. It will vary because every company, see, there are so many factors involved over here. Where your factory is located. Is it in a orange zone, green zone, red zone? How big is your factory? Is it a 1-story, 2-story, 3-story building? What is the density of population within your factory? How many employees do you have per square meter? Because that will determine your social distancing norms. What kind of end product are you manufacturing? Are you manufacturing something for the medical industry? Are you manufacturing something for the generic population? I mean, all these variations and variables will come in picture in order for you to calculate your correct rise post-COVID costs to your process. But I encourage and I would advise that you sit down with your senior leadership and you literally take this as a serious exercise, it'll take no more than a couple of hours to list down in the minutest of details what will be your post-COVID cost. Take a look at it, arrive, I think Udayji mentioned it's more of an estimate at this point of time. Nobody knows the real number. So it's an estimate. Come up with that estimate. Try to analyze it, what it will cost you over a month, over a quarter, over a year. And based on your historic patterns, which perhaps in terms of volume, which perhaps may undergo some decline, you can apportion this post-COVID cost that your factory or your business will incur across the entire volume. But please don't neglect it. This will be an important cost, and this is not a temporary one in nature. I believe it will be here to stay for quite some time. Also, understand that don't run away from this cost. It will factor in your overall cost and thereby your overall price. And trust me, friends, every business, every sector is doing this today. It's not just restricted to the printing industry or the manufacturing sector. Every sector is already apportioning a post-COVID cost in their end price. How they do it is different for different industries. For example, if you go to the food and beverage industry, most of the big names have stopped offering discounts on their overall service or their overall food products. That's their way of countering post-COVID costs. In case of IT service sectors, they've stopped bundling a lot of the costs apportioned to on-site deployment. Most of the IT sectors are now promising customers with work from home models, so which is a slightly cheaper model compared to on-site deployment. That's how we are countering our post-COVID costs in the IT sector. If you take a look at the manufacturing sector, you will have to pass this cost on to your customer, either by increasing your price, or maybe you take a look at certain products which are very, very low margin in nature, and for some time you completely stop your manufacturing around those products and focus primarily on your high gross margin products where you can factor these post-COVID costs. See, ultimately, the long message I want to give in a very short sentence is you must understand your problem first. And cost is no different. It is an inherent problem that you will continue having for the rest of your life in a business. But if you simplify it, it is definitely solvable. So don't run away from it. Factor it in all the different categories that the other panelists have already mentioned. And my only advice over here is make sure that you simplify it in all the different categories and then tackle it with the right force and with the right respect. Thank you, Professor. That's the message I have from my end.
Thank you, Adi, for giving such a effective presentation underlying so many factors to be taken during this period. Thank you. Moving forward, our next speaker, Sri Manoj Kumar. He holds a BTech degree and Master's degree in Printing Technology from Guru Jambheswar University of Science and Technology, Hisar, and currently pursuing his PhD program from the same university. Presently, he is associated with City Paper Products, Chandigarh-based company, and handling many key responsibilities of this organization. He was with Manohar Filament as Senior Manager in Packaging Development and Cost Estimation for more than 1.5 years. For more than 10 years, he was with Edelman Packaging as Senior Manager looking after the packaging development and cost estimation. Now, I would like to request Sri Manoj Kumar to share his valuable thoughts. Over to Manoj.
Thanks, Barajar. Thanks all the panelists. Before I start, I respect all the senior panelists who have gave or said their views about the cost and their nature of cost. Thanks. First of all, we have to analyze the cost of production. The cost of production means the all type of cost which incur during the production of any kind of product by a business organization, which means a company जो आपको कोई भी product wants to produce, उसके लिए जितने भी तरह की cost incur हो रही है, that is called a cost of production. cost of production directly depends on three types: labor cost, material cost, and consumable cost. Labor cost are of basically two types: direct labor cost, indirect labor cost. Direct labor cost, which cost directly related, or you can say the manpower which is directly related to the that production of that kind of material. Okay, the indirect cost, the cost of that labor which is not directly involved to the production, but is the cost that was used, or you can say the add on that product because of the utilization of that labor cost. Second and main most important part of the cost of production is raw material cost. We have to analyze each and every material which will be used to produce a product, to manufacture a product, that is called during the cost of production. Cost of production, the paper is a main key part. The 58 to 65% cost of the product will be bared by only paper. That is the main concerned area. Okay, then the third part is consumable cost. Consumable cost, the other materials which we are used during the productions, that is called the consumable cost. That consumable materials are used during the production of that material. Okay, types of cost. Type of cost, basically, in my opinion, there are two types of cost: the fixed cost and the variable cost. Fixed cost comprises the rent of the building, salaries of the employees, machinery cost, insurance, and the power. And the variable cost, you can say sales commission, the raw material utilization cost, utility cost, direct labor cost. That are the variable costs. Okay. Now moving forward to the point of estimation. Estimation is the process by which we are giving the rates to the customer, or you can say the approximate cost about the product. Okay, and the costing is the area which is the final product cost which we are analyzing after the production of that material. The estimation cost, generally printers are doing estimations, because these estimations, they have defined a certain criteria to calculate this estimation of the cost. For estimations, some printers have their past records to calculate this formula, and they have make on their own formats. They have charged printing cost, the material cost, and the operational cost. And the estimation some printers are using, there are two types of different formulas generally printers used in the packaging industry. One is the process-based costing, and the second cost estimation. Sorry, process-based cost estimation, and the second is raw material-based cost estimation. In the process-based cost estimation, generally they follow the market trends, like the per impression printing rates, the per impression die cutting rates, and the lamination charges, and other charges, and other operational parties. And after that calculation, all these parameters they are adding some part of margin on it. Okay, that is the process based. And on the other side, raw material calculations based product they are calculating the actual cost of that material. That material is ink, and the paper, and the lamination, and the other material like die cutting and adhesive. They're calculating all these materials during the estimations, and on the basis of that they are calculating the operational charges. Operational charges basically depends on the times they have spent on this machine to perform that operation. They are doing like this, and after calculating material plus my operation, they are putting on some margins, and after that the margin they will provide cost estimation. This is the basic criteria doing the estimations. And after the estimations, they are taking the orders, and after completion of that order, simultaneously they are doing cost estimations, costing. The costing, they are calculating each and every areas actual consumptions of material and the actual consumptions of power, time, and everything which is directly related to the materials production. They are after completion of that costing, they are comparing estimated cost with actual cost. If they are getting actual cost is higher than the estimated cost, that means there is a fault in that formula which they are using to do estimations. So sometimes they may inform or they may ask customers to increase the cost, or may inform to top management to drop this program because this is not beneficial to our company or our organizations. That is the one way they are doing like this. And the second way, sometimes they may found the estimated cost is overcharged and actual costing is a below level. Then they asked management, we have to minimize our estimation processes, or we have to change our estimations format, so that we will calculate reasonable prices to do actual costing. Okay, that is the main concern. Sometimes they found this is the best way to compete in the market. For this type of activities, generally companies using ERP softwares to help these old types of activity through a channelized way, and the consumptions of material, time taken, and the processes will be monitored through by a system, and each and every type of these processes and the consumptions of materials will be calculated later on through the costing, and the actual rate will be analyzed with the estimating part. That is the main key concern part in the cost estimation part. Okay, the next point is to how to reduce the cost. The reducing of the cost is the main concern and important program in these circumstances, because nowadays everything is gone in the higher side. For example, the raw material prices are in higher side, and the other consumables prices are on higher side, and then you can say power charges are higher, and labor costs are higher side. Then we have to think the policy. We have to make a policy to overview all these kind of problems. For example, we have to make a policy to purchase a paper or raw material. That is the main concerned key factor in producing a product, because that which paper we have used, that must be in gold quality, that must be used, or you can say that will be used in good manner. Okay, quality of data material is very much important. Storage and the shipment program of this material must be taken care, because the quality of the material is not appropriate, it will affect or it will increase our production cost. Okay, then wastage during the process cost. Then we have to monitor our each and every operational cost, and if we are going on a higher side, we have to analyze each and every type of wastages, or you can say the time taken we are going on higher side, we have to analyze that, and that on the basis of that analyzations, we have to do some specific task to improve our production and reduce our wastages. Then reason of overcost. Reason of overcost basically depends on some of the following points. the main concerned area of overcost in the company is the improper planning of material and the material cost and material manpower cost and downtime, which is actually must be calculating during the estimations. And downtime, if we are not calculating downtime, then that will affect our prices. Okay, that is the main concerned areas we have to focus before doing any estimation or cost estimation. Thanks of all.
Now it is to Kamal sir for question and answers and other discussions. Kamal sir.
Thank you, Viral sir, and thank you all the panelists for sharing such a wonderful things. Before we move to the questions and answer, we have I have some news. Maybe what can you say? The news or what is that you can judge? First of all, you please read this. Today is today's business standard. Coronavirus impact textile companies to fear for financial year 21 will be washed out. And we have one more I would like to share here. Just a minute. Second one is more important to us all. See what is happening. The newspaper presses are now starting doing commercial jobs. It's a advertisement from Dainik Bhaskar, today's newspaper. So they have given a big ad that they want the printing job. Friends, what will happen? Definitely your production cost is going to increase many folds after once this lockdown is lifted and you will start working once again. Working with 50% staff will increase your cost. And again, due to competition, there can be some problems like I share this screen with you. Friends, printing is a manufacturing service industry and it is therefore cost of production varies from company to company. Is another end, while calculating the cost, that thing also be taken care of. It is necessary to understand your cost of production before indulging in the market rates. This is my system of working. I don't know if it's scientific or not. For calculating hourly rate of your company, the machine hour or production cost or costing estimate is something separate. I'm going to another thing. Just go on writing each and every type of expenditure you are making, even the minor ones. Repeat this habit at least 3 to 6 months. Only then you can get average hourly rate, irrespective to the machine rate and overhead, etc. The actually machine hour can be calculated on the basis of the running time and expenditure on the machine man and helper, etc. The most important to add at least 50% as overhead to get the actually hourly expenditure of your company. So use the available skill and your talent to reduce production cost to increase the profitability, but not at all sell at lower price than your cost. So my way of thinking is cost differ from company to company. So we have some questions here. Sir, there's a question, anonymous, name has not been given, for all the panelists. For calculating labor charges costing, please share what are the expensive we have to consider.
That's okay. Sir, as I showed you in my presentation, that there are some departments which are also revenue earning because they are the production departments. So if these labor, if he's meaning workers, then we have to see on which machine he is working, and the cost center would be accordingly apportioned. And if it is a back-end unit, for example, accounts or admin, now these are not revenue earning departments for the company. So these are back-end units. These are typically the overheads or the indirect costs, fixed costs, which are not apportioned to any machine or production process in particular. So these costs, these back-end costs tend to remain similar in nature, and we have to see their percentage on the overall and accordingly decide how to apportion them on other money. It is a policy, and once, if you go by the gross profit method, which I showed you, yeah, so the indirect expenses or the fixed cost overheads, whatever you call it, you know that these are this much in nature, and what percentage of gross profit is needed to meet these indirect expenses, so that you have a reasonable net profit. You could go by the gross profit method, because when you are making an estimate prima facie, you have the material costs, the direct costs, and these costs are very well, you can get these costs. And just by adding a GP to it, you can get your estimate, which would be reasonably accurate. He has to see 3-4 periods, before this, the last quarter, maybe the last half year. Now what would happen is, typically, now after Corona, we are all going to reboot our systems. So ये तो कुछ अलग ही केस होगा. तो पहले 3 महीने का मॉनिटर करना पड़ेगा. Probably 6 months after that, it would be a different case. But typically, in an organization, there will be a trend of costs. These follow a particular trend. फिर industry का भी trend होता है. अभी direct materials to sales का भी एक particular trend होता है. And more or less, you can follow these trends. But after Corona, as Ani also showed you in one slide, that the expenses on disinfection, hygiene, and all these, this is also going to play a part. So it typically depends on a company policy of how to absorb it, actually.
Thank you, Uday.
Sir, as I say, the rates, the price of a particular commodity or service will always be dominated by the market. It is the costs which have to be under check and under observation and under control. The costs are only in your hand. The price will always be dominated by the market, always. लेकिन तो भी देख के बेचना है अपने को, अपने cost में. We cannot hit below our own belt. So,
thanks, Uday. And next question we have is also, I think, from the same person. Direct costs such as machine depreciation and maintenance, wages, light bill, plate, ink, etc. Fixed costs, that is rent. In addition, we have also to consider charges like internet, mobile, and telephone charges, which appears on the PLN account. Insurance, please clarify.
They have to be decided on the basis. Some apportionment basis has to be decided.
Yeah.
So, for example, internet on the basis of usage. Example, rent on the basis of area covered. So apportionment, staff welfare, coffee expenses, tea expenses on the basis of number of people. So this way you have to apportion. थोड़ा सा मेहनत तो करना पड़ेगा. And why I told Tally, because Tally is being regularly used by everybody. Finance के लिए. उसके background में ये sir cost center का system होता है. So when you are making the entry, one debit, it prompts you for the cost centers. तो वही time पे हो जाता है. समझो 2 मिनट में एक entry होता है ना, तो 3 मिनट में cost center का entry होगा. But after the end of a month or 3 months, you'll get the cost centric summary also, which will be important MIS.
Sure.
And the topic which Ani touched upon, direct may be fixed or variable, or indirect may be fixed or variable. This he's touched upon a topic in costing called as marginal costing. Pure फिर क्या होता है वो variable, एक बार sales से variable cost minus करके you get what is known as contribution. तो CV ratio बोलते हैं उसको. It's very important to maintain that CV ratio. So fixed cost जितना organization पे ज़्यादा होता है ना, उसका spread करना पड़ता है. So then it is a game of number game बोलते हैं, जो top line जैसा increase होगा, आपका top line जैसा increase होगा, वैसे fixed cost को spread करने के लिए जगह मिलेगी. और जितनी जगह मिलेगी, आपका bottom line उतना ज़्यादा sharp होगा.
So we have with us Mr. Narendra Joshi. He wants to say something. Narendra Joshi, please.
Yeah, Kamalji, thank you. You raised a very good point. At that time, we have to charge for a cup of tea also. I remember the story of 1990 when I used to go to Mumbai to print the jobs, and the printer there used to raise the bill as per the rate decided, and he used to add 10% overheads on that. So we from Pune, we used to travel all the way. We had a lot of our own expenses. Apart from that, we used to charge 10% overheads. One day I asked him, having such a good relation with him, he told me very clearly that Joshi, don't misunderstand, but try to understand that whatever I am charging you is the printing charges, and what plant I am service I am giving you. But when you come to Pune, I have to offer a cup of tea. Sometimes I have to offer there are many people come from out of done of my main cost. So you have to charge all this overhead. Secondly, I do only printing, but for doing other activities like die making, lamination, I have to call the particular vendors from my phone calls. So that is also part of the expenses. So even at that time, I used to feel offending this, but now when you say there was substance in that, so now this time has come that we have to work on these guidelines also. Thank you, Kamalji.
Thank you, Ravi bhai.
Sir, I want to ask something.
Yes, sir, why not?
All panelists, everybody has given elaborative the costing analysis, but I would like, what is the downtime percentage costing we should work out, and what I want to say that the replacement cost of machinery, breakdown, so many things, and the technological reformation. So what sort of percentage you feel that we should put it on our basic cost for all these three items? As a general rule, I'm asking.
It should be up to 25 to 30% extra can be charged.
Yeah, for the expansion and change of replacement of machinery, right?
Yes.
Sir, I would put it this way: whatever depreciation fund is there, depreciation जो है,
Yes.
उतना at least investment earmarked होना चाहिए.
Yes, good.
So that fund is meant for that. As far as your replacement of machinery is concerned, at least some
Uday
fund
ji,
would be there.
Uday ji, only earmark
Should be
करना है,
there. See,
बाजू रखना है.
I'm saying should be there. Now could be there. I'm not answering whether it can be there, but should be there. So your question is like this. So the answer also will be like this. So once this depreciation is also apportioned on the machine cost, and you are recovering it by some method, so automatically वो revenue में आता है. But ultimately market price is dominated by something, and you have to stay in the market. And then technical downtime जो बोले रवि sir. उसका ऐसा है कि once the total cost of your machines you get through some way, either cost centers or in some way, if a machine is more productive, you would be having more production, and it will be divided by more production, so your hourly cost will come less, or your per 1,000 impression will cost less. But if your machine is having more downtime, then the production would be less, and the denominator कम होने से वो आपका hourly rate है या तो 1,000 impression का rate है वो ज़्यादा आएगा. That way it is to be covered, technically speaking.
Actually, sir, we have Medha with us, and she asked one question which I sent to you on the WhatsApp also.
No, Ani mentioned about, touched upon this subject. But I was just saying, looking at the costs and things, is it possible for each and every one to derive a formula which can be applied to cover the post-COVID expenses of sanitization and materials for sanitization and other things, Unfortunately, the question which I posted, I don't have a copy of that. So it just went online. So actually the question should be read out, if at all.
I can read. I had a copy. I can read that.
Yeah, because that email went to you, but I don't have a copy.
No, I already forwarded you them, but I can read it again. This is a question from Medha. Have you studied the additional cost of COVID-related costs which a print company would have to bear in addition to the regular costs? Have you arrived at any simple formula? For example, sanitation, workplace, vehicle, transportation of material, cost of sanitizer, masks and PPE kit, social distances, which might cause higher cost of production due to lower productivity, administration cost of creation the reports, condoning late mark of entry point due to social distances and some others. So this is his question.
Well, I'll take a stab at it. Medha ji, there is no set template or formula to calculate this cost, because like I mentioned, it depends on so many variables at your end. How many people do you have in your premises? What is the density of population within your premises, based on which you will have to undergo social distancing norms? What is the floor layout of your machines? What kind of end product are you manufacturing for, and who is your end customer? Are they in a sensitive area? Are they from a sensitive industry which is using your product? What is the total volume of production that you are undergoing right now? So all of these will vary from company to company, number one. However, yeah, you can obviously list down the activities that you will have to undergo in the business. One is you will have to do regular sanitization of your factory or your office. You might have to do special pest control and special hygiene controls within the premises. If your if you are a factory environment, you might have to be forced to work with 50% of your workforce, which means 50% of your workforce is either going to sit at home continuing drawing a salary, and only 50% is going to work online, which thereby will mean that maybe the time taken to produce something might increase. So knowing your business, knowing your end product, knowing your own manufacturing process, you will have to spend some time with your leadership team, with your production team, and list down each and every one of these costs. How much will a sanitizer cost for your factory floor? You might have to purchase 100 boxes of sanitizers in a month. That cost will vary from company to company. How frequently will you have to sanitize your factory floor? That will depend on where you're located as a factory. If you're in a red containment zone, that cost will be much higher than a green zone. So I think, like I said again, no set formula, but you will have to map it down. My suggestion over here to tackle this correctly is to first of all make a list of all the actions you will have to undergo, the frequency of the actions you will have to undergo, the population of actions you will have to undergo across your entire employee base. Are you going to do this for 20 people, 50 people, 100 people? Because then you will be able to apportion the material costs involved, the masks involved, the PPEs involved. And then this total cost, you might get a total number, example 100 rupees. That 100 rupees you apportion across your entire volume, and you will divide that into a per unit cost. But please be mindful that every industry is doing this. Printing industry must do this as well and must pass this cost on to customer. Every customer is willing to pay extra for post-COVID costs because every customer also expects a safe and hygiene product going forward. I hope that answers your question.
Kamalji.
Yes, sir.
Kamalji.
Yes, sir.
Medaji, just to answer your question, what I worked out in my company is the initial cost is about minimum 25,000 rupees to buy this all infrastructural equipments, this temperature gun, then food operator sanitizer. I think per month will be approximately 5,000 rupees for printing press of 13 employees, what I can say. And Kamalji, as Puna's equipment, sanitizer, the mask, negotiate price with all manufacturers. Thank you.
So we have one more question. Sir, if you can give some basic formula for calculation, then it will be easier for a printer to work out.
Basic formula is an hourly rate. Hourly rate, we include each and everything in that hourly rate. I have already told that we have got the direct departmental and indirect departmental expenses. These are to be added, and then we have to see that how much work has been done, and that is divided by the calculation of paper and all that. There are formulas that what is the quantity of print run, what is the print run, what is the size of the publication, how many copies are to be printed, and all that.
Yes, actually, they are not understanding which formula you want to know.
Yeah.
I want a formula for basic formula for the calculation. It is the wages, then rent and all these expenditures. When the canvasser is coming to us, what type of calculation we have to do for that? Because for the canvassers, we are not using paper as such. So I want a formula for that. So which cost you have to incur? Nowadays, we have to incur the COVID cost also, the sanitizing and all this.
To put it very simply, whatever expenses are debited to your P&L account, they need to be apportioned some way or the other to some department or the other, or to some process or machine. Every expense in your P&L account, every expense. So whatever you're talking about are all expenses. You need to figure out the way of its apportionment by yourself. These are some company policies which you need to take. It primarily depends on you. ऐसा कोई fixed formula नहीं दे सकते. There can be formulas for calculations of impressions, calculations of weight of paper, consumption of ink, and all those things which are more scientific. But some costs which are intrinsic to your press, they need to be apportioned in the manner in which you decide.
So we have.
I think the underlying word over there is must be apportioned, or underlying sentence over there is must be apportioned. You can't neglect it and you can't escape it, because another gentleman has asked a similar question. I think Nirmalji is asking a question around renewal of licenses for different software. And if you apportion that, his fear is that then the cost of designing will be way higher than market comparison. But Nirmalji, don't escape it. It is what it is. I mean, you have to apportion it in your ultimate price to the customer.
Ani, this could be apportioned over the life of that, you know.
Absolutely. So it gets apportioned.
So it's an intangible asset. Yeah.
Correct. It does not vary in terms of quality year to year. So it is an intangible asset. Bingo. But the point is, you have to apportion it. You have to take some portion of it. You have to give it. You have to make sure your customer is paying for it.
That's true.
We are running out of time, but I have two persons in last two persons. Mr. Prakash, can sir? Prakash, you are online, please.
Yes, sir. The thing is, in the costing, especially when Ani told us about this thing, we have to add on the COVID cost and all that stuff. So, see, there are a lot of companies who have to go through social compliances, okay, which cost we never used to take. So, there is always a difference between companies who are taking social compliances, because it's a huge expenditure. If you see all this compliance, and I think for a normal unit of 10 to 15 workers, the minimum cost is around 4 to 5 lakh rupees annually. So, that time we never used to take this into account at the time of costing. But now, since this has come, this is what we're talking about is the COVID-19, care and the additional cost that we should be applying. This is a good thing that even social compliance, almost like all companies, I feel, will be coming under it, social compliance. Ani?
Yes.
Definitely. It is one.
Do you mean corporate social responsibility, Prakash?
Yes. Corporate social, so towards our employees, social responsibility, that is called social compliance. So, there are a lot of, it's a huge, it's a very big topic to.
It is indeed a very scary topic to talk about. And I'll mention why I'm saying the word scary, because even if you consider social compliance or you consider corporate social responsibility towards post-COVID operations, how many businesses will indeed do it versus how many businesses will find shortcuts? Nobody will be able to tell that. But we as responsible manufacturers will obviously apportion those costs to our customer. Now, if that indeed renders your overall product way beyond the current market pricing, the only possible way out, Prakashji, will be to change or modify or transform your business model. There is no other way out. And this is unfortunately the reality that a lot of companies are facing with in this pandemic. This is not a normal pandemic by any means. Nobody has a fixed template or nobody has a solution of how to come out of this. Every company is finding its own methods. Company that I work for, we are undergoing a huge transformation in our business model as we speak of how we are going to offer services to our customers. We have never done this before. Will it succeed? Will it not? Time will tell. But it is very clear we can't do what we did yesterday. In addition to that, our costs are also going up per employee. Our revenue per employee will come down because costs have gone up and top line is going to come down for the short term. But this is what it is. And like I mentioned again, don't shy away from it. Please list it down very clearly. And then you yourself as a business owner will be able to take that decision. Can I afford this? Can I not afford this? If yes, pass it on to your customer. If no, you will have to transform your business model. But cranking the engine up with the same car keys and the same instruction manual is not going to work.
Yeah, actually, Ani, you are very much right. And we have been telling our printers like this already. The two ways are only there. Either start in networking, helping each other to produce more, or start something different. We have been conducting that type of webinar also, where we are teaching the people how to modernize the system, how to do different. Thank you, Ani, for these guidelines. And now I'm going to Mr. Shailendra Pople. Shailendra Pople?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. What is your question, please?
Yeah, what we had done is on 3rd May, we had organized one webinar on this rate calculation. For our surprising, it was found that all the printers in our area are undercharging the customer. Their system of working was like 100 rupees one is charging, then the other is charging 90 rupees to get the order. in all this process, everybody is killed. All the printers are now in trouble. They are unable to sustain with their expenses. They are unable to sustain with their salaries. Now they are in big trouble. And 20% have agreed that we want to raise the rates and work. Many of them are not knowing how to calculate the rate. Just they are depending on others. That other is charging 100, so I should charge 90 rupees and take the order. So this is the situation in our area. Now we have started this with presentation and all those things, and let us hope the best outcome of it. And we will be approaching Mumbai Mudrak Sangh and also Maharashtra Mudrak Sangh and this All India also. Thank you, sir.
I mean, you cannot stop competition, sir. There will be several prices, and he may be having something up his sleeve to reduce his prices. So you cannot challenge competition.
I think we are always required to further progress. Without competition, we cannot progress.
You will remain alive.
Yeah. Yes. We have one question. It's the last question we are taking. Post-COVID expenses. Praveen Vinodhani. Sir, I asked this question because actual cost will exceed than the estimated cost during the pandemic situation. So everybody knows it. Sir, what advice you want to give to him? He says that after COVID the price will increase. So how to tackle?
Sir, बहुत कुछ increase होने वाला है COVID के बाद. We are going to work with limited people in the same space. Yeah. We are going to produce less probably with limited staff. Probably you are going to face less of sales. So lowering of your top line and increasing of a ratio of your expenses are going to, you will have to think of some other ways of remote.
If we will maintain our quality and commitment, everybody will come. Don't worry. Nobody will lose their job. Everybody will come to us. We have to make our commitment and we have to maintain our quality.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true. And while making the quality and commitment, we must see whether it is within the cost or not. That is the major thing, to check the costs, because costs are going to increase too much after COVID, I tell you. As Ravi rightly said, due to this with farthest sanitation, he calculated 5,000 a month. And maybe it is more, he's calculating otherwise for a distance, again for a time, they will be taking more time. So we'll have to recalculate the cost. So thank you very much, all the panelists. Dr. Bral, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone. Pleasure. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Kamalji, for
good day to everybody,
and all the panelists also, especially not to name. I am giving the vote of thanks.
Once again, I will like to tell to all the printers, real misery will start now. Sir, you are enjoying in the home with the new food, sitting at the home. No crisis was there. Real crises are going to start now when you will run the factories. You will face the crisis. So please
be prepared.
Be prepared. Face it head on. Don't shy away from it.
Crises are yet to start. So thank you very much. Thank you.
All the best to everybody. Bye.
All the best and be healthy and safe. And now people are starting the factories already. In Punjab, they are allowed to start it. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.